Hey everyone, Combo here back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we're going to talk about mana generation. I'm going to geek out about numbers, and hopefully by the end of this video, you will have a better understanding of how to reduce the amount of tiles needed to activate specials for your heroes. Real quick though, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see my future videos. All right, so I've got a lot of numbers and I'm going to break down everything for you. I have three different slides of mana speeds, but we are first going to start off with the basic types. So without any increased mana generation for very fast heroes, it takes 6.5 tiles or 7 tiles, obviously, to activate somebody's special. For fast heroes, it takes 8 tiles. For average speed, it takes 10 tiles. Slow heroes take 12 tiles, and very slow takes 13.5 tiles or 14. The reason I include the zero point 0.5 on some of these is because that is a factor when you're talking about how much mana percentage increase you need to reduce the amount of tiles. Mana can be increased many ways, which can reduce the amount of tiles needed to get a special. The most common is through troops, talent nodes, costume bonuses, and specific family bonuses, and also certain specials increase mana as well. For very fast heroes, you would need 9% mana increase to decrease it down to 6 tiles, 30% mana increase to get down to 5 tiles, and if you're able to get to 63%, that would bring it down to 4 tiles. Fast speed, 15% mana increase would be the minimum to get to 7 tiles, 34% to 6 tiles, and 60% down to 5 tiles. Average speed would need minimum 12% to get to 9 tiles, 25% to 8, 43% to 7, 67% to 6. Slow speed, 10% for 11 tiles, 20% for 10, 34% for 9, and 50% for 8. Very slow speed would be only 4% to get to 13 tiles, 13% for 12 tiles, 23% for 11, and 35% for 10 tiles. So back to increasing mana percentage. The easiest way to get a lot right away, which I'm sure many of you are already aware of, is through troops. So for sticks and magic troops, you can get up to 20% mana. For the regular mana troops, you can get up to 15%. And for legendary troops, you can get up to 11% mana increase at this point right now. Now let's look at the bottom of the screen, starting off with the Bard solo bonus. If you have any Bards on your team, they have a solo family member bonus where if you only have one of each of those families, each of those heroes are going to get plus 5% mana. Legendary costume bonuses are going to get plus 5% mana. I say legendary costume because epic and rare heroes, most of them only get 1% mana for their costume bonus, unless if they're the season 1 classic heroes, and they will get plus 5%. On the talent nodes, druids, monks, and sorcerers all get plus 4% mana increase, and all other classes get plus 2% mana increase. Obviously, you need to complete their talent path and choose that mana node in their talent path to get that increase. On the right, we have all of our family classes that give mana bonuses. The Pirate and Wonderland families give plus 2, 4, 7, or 12% mana increase if you have 2, 3, 4, or 5 members of those families on your team. The Sakura family is going to give 3, 6, 9, 11, or 13% mana increase for either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 heroes. The 2017 Hero of the Month family bonus is going to give 5, 10, or 15% mana increase for 1, 2, or 3 heroes. That is really huge and common to see. I'm going to go over that in a moment. And then the Morlovia family is going to give 3, 6, or 9% mana increase if you have 1, 2, or 3 of those. So reducing by 2 or more tiles is great, but in most cases, you are going to need a hero special to make that happen. Realistically, your goal should be to start every battle already having reduced the hero's tile requirement by 1 to activate their special. For most heroes, that is only going to require a troop that gives a mana increase and the mana node from your hero's talent path. If you use legendary troops, fast speed heroes who do not have a costume and are not a druid, monk, or sorcerer are the most annoying to decrease tiles because you cannot get them to 7 tiles without another mana increase like the Bard family bonus, where each solo family member gets that plus 5% mana increase. So keep that in mind when you're building your teams. I use all legendary troops myself, and I've got an issue with especially rangers, some fighters, some clerics, and some other different classes where they're fast speed, and I just cannot get them to 7 tiles. And I really want those legendary troops so that they get the extra health, shield, and attack versus the regular mana troops. So I mentioned the 2017 family bonus before. A common combo of heroes that you'll see and that I use myself is the 2017 Hero of the Month family bonus for Perseus and Athena. This is especially useful because they are the same colors, and if you have both of their costumes, then it's going to make it even more prevalent as they are both going to get plus 15% mana generation even without troops or talent nodes. They're going to get 10% for that 2017 family bonus plus an extra 5% for their costumes. So with a magic or Styx troop, you can actually get costume Perseus to fire in 6 tiles, and Athena would fire in 8 tiles with any troop that gives increased mana. All right, so at this point right now, we're going to switch gears and we're going to take a look at some other mana speeds outside of the normal ones. The magic heroes have two different charges. The first charge is at 5.5 tiles, the second charge is at 12.3 tiles. In order to increase that first charge for the magic heroes, you need an 11% increase to get down to 5 tiles, or 39% increase to get down to 4 tiles. For the second magic charge, you only need 3% increase to get down to 12 tiles, 12% to get down to 11 tiles, 23% to get down to 10 tiles, and 37% if you want to try to get down to 9 tiles. Ninja heroes have 3 different charges. The first charge is just under 5 tiles, the second charge is just under 10 tiles, and the third charge is just under 15 tiles. To decrease their tile count, for that first charge, you would need a 23% mana increase to get down to 4 tiles, 64% to get down to 3 tiles, and then on the second charge, you would need a 9% increase to get down to 9 tiles, 23% to get down to 8 tiles, 40% to get down to 7, 64% to get down to 6. For the third charge, you need a 6% increase to get down to 14 tiles, 14% increase to get down to 13, 23% to get down to 12, and 34% to get down to 11. So definitely some interesting stuff here, especially when you look at that third charge for the ninjas. Getting to 23% for down to 12 tiles is really not that crazy if you've got one of those Styx or magic troops that give 20% mana increase, and if you've got a bard to help them out, or if they happen to be a druid, monk, or sorcerer, then you would just need the 6 or mana troop plus having that talent node from those classes. For the most part, though, decreasing all of these by at least 1 tile, definitely not that difficult, so long as you have any of the mana increase troops. Moving on to our final group of heroes. So first we're going to talk about the Styx heroes. The first charge for them is 6 tiles, the second charge for them is 9 tiles, and third charge is 12 tiles. For that first charge, you would need a 20% increase to get down to 5 tiles, or 50% to get down to 4 tiles. For the second charge, you would need a 13% increase to get to 8 tiles, 29% to get down to 7 tiles, and 50% to get down to 6 tiles. For the third Styx charge, you would need 10% mana increase to get down to 11 tiles, 20% to get down to 10, 34% to get down to 9, and 50% to get down to 8 tiles. Next, we've got the Changing Tides heroes, or the Untold Tales heroes, as they're more commonly called. And I feel like a lot of people don't actually know how many tiles it takes for those charges to fire in their specials. The first charge is 8 tiles, which is basically equivalent to fast speed. The second charge is 10 tiles, which is basically equivalent to average speed. So again, for that first charge, we need 15% mana increase to get down to 7 tiles, 34% to get down to 6, or 60% to get down to 5. For the second charge, you would need a 12% increase to get down to 9 tiles, 25% to get down to 8, 43% to get down to 7, and 67% to get down to 6. The Changing Tides heroes work a little bit differently than the other charge heroes. So when you're talking about the Styx, Magic, or Ninja, when you're on offense, you can just continue to build it up and go right to the second or third charge if you wanted to. For the Changing Tides heroes, you have to use that first charge. So keep that in mind. You have to use that first charge before you can use that second charge for their special. And then lastly, we've got the Slayers family. These heroes may start to become more prevalent in the game now that they're starting to get costumes, but right now their standard would be 11 tiles to start. Keep in mind too, though, when you do use them, you do get a mana stack as far as increase in percentage, so their amount of tiles is naturally going to go down as you use their specials. But to get down to 10 tiles for their first charge, you would need a 10% mana increase. To get down to 9 tiles, you need a 23% increase. A 39% increase would get you down to 8 tiles, and 59% would get you down to 7 tiles. I left the troops mana increase, and then all of the family bonuses and class bonuses and costume bonuses down at the bottom, so you guys could kind of see how that factored in with each of these. If you want to screenshot any of these, please feel free to do so if you want to save them. I actually did spend quite a bit of time putting these slides together. I actually built them in Photoshop so I can make sure that all of the spacing and everything worked the way I wanted. But these are all things that you all should be keeping in mind when you're building your teams. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you really want to try to make it so that you can get at least one tile less for all of your specials, especially average speed heroes. I honestly really feel like those are the most important because the difference of 10 tiles and 9 tiles is a huge difference. If you can't get one of those 4 match dragons for your average speed hero, then you're going to have to match 4 sets of tiles, which is kind of crazy. So getting them down to 9 tiles makes it so that you don't have to rely on getting that 4 dragon match, and you can just match 3 sets of 3. Fast speed ones are another crucial one in my opinion. I personally have a lot of fast speed heroes who are monks, and pairing a legendary troop with them and that 4% mana increase that they get from being a monk makes a huge difference. When I can get that 4 match dragon, I only have to match 2 sets of tiles to get their special activated, so they're basically almost like a very fast speed hero. When you take these things into consideration, it makes a huge difference on offense. I know some people just like to put teams together and attack and go Hulk mode and try to create as much tile damage as possible, but being able to activate your specials that much quicker, even if it's only 1 tile less, like I said, it makes a huge difference. But just wanted to get in here and show you how my mind works when I think about which teams I'm going to build by pairing the right troops, the right classes, the right costumes, and the right families together so that I can decrease the amount of tiles it takes to fire these specials. If there's anything that you all do differently, please let me know in the comments. But that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button, make sure you sub to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.